Hey, it's Monday the 8th of January. I'm back at Whitehall Farm at the Market Garden for Harvest Barn Shop, and I've just arrived and done some unpacking and now looking at how the crops are. Not a lot of change since last week, obviously. Very cold at the moment. It's about 2 degrees, so it's a lot less windy than it was when I left last week, but very cold. And I'm hoping to harvest some of the salad leaves for bags for this weekend, but one issue there will be if it's too cold to actually harvest, because the leaves are frozen and you wouldn't want to harvest them when they're frozen, because then they'll just disintegrate. You may remember last week I took off the second cover on here over for C and D because it was blowing around so much, so I've just put it back, and hopefully that will stay in place and it will keep the soil a bit drier and slightly warmer before harvesting some of these lettuces. It's obviously a lot less windy this evening. It's very grey and overcast, about 2 degrees as I said. Got very cold hands and feet, which makes it a bit unpleasant, and this is what they say about if you're going to farm, you need to be okay about coming out in all sorts of weathers. I'm not particularly happy to be so cold, but I know I need to be here doing it. It will make it all worth it if I can get some good crops. Let's hope there's a bit of sun tomorrow. Hello, it's Tuesday the 9th of January 2018. It is week 10, day 27 on the Market Garden at Harvest Barn Shop. Our shop is days away from opening. The last bits of work are going into finishing off electrics and cleaning up and stocking the shelves. And hopefully there will be about 6 bags of winter salad leaves for sale this week, by the end of the week. So it will be a chance to see whether they sell and what people think of the taste and the appearance. So I have just finished digging and raking bed 5J, which is the 10th bed in this 3rd block that I've been digging. It's actually the 5th block out of the 6 blocks that I marked out. So that is 30 beds that I've now dug. So I'm just going to put down this ground cover on this final 1.5 metre path. So we've got 30 beds now of 15 metres by 15 inches or 75 centimetres. Only 3 of those are not planted with anything. I was going to get the BCS tractor this week, and that would have been an opportunity to see if I could start cultivating this next bit of land, hopefully a lot quicker, although I am still going to need to go through with the couch grass, but that's coming next week now. And anyway, the ground is a bit too wet for that. It's still only about 3 or 4 degrees this morning. Some of the ground is still frozen and you can see ice on the puddles on the tarp, but this last bed that I've dug wasn't actually, I could fork that over quite easily. So there's not a lot of couch grass root left in this bed. You can see how much came out of one bed, and I was getting about 3 barrows previously, so that's really good. I was talking to Colin just now, who's the tractor driver on the farm, and he was talking about when they weed these big fields of oats that they've got, and they go through with a tractor and various different implements that have cameras on them that adjust where they till according to the rows of oats, and they can do that until the oats is 10 to 12 inches high, I think. But the couch grass obviously comes back every year, so I'm trying to get to a point where there isn't any couch grass, because getting couch grass out when there are crops in there is really hard work. and disturbs the plants. Not so important maybe on the arable land, but they still have to go through and weed out the couch grass. So it's interesting to compare the different styles of farming in terms of the different crops, the different scales, the different types of tools and machinery. There's not necessarily a right or wrong or a good or a bad, but it's about choosing what's right for that particular land and crop and time of year. So we'll see as the year goes on whether I change techniques and use more machinery, or whether it's suitable to stay with the small tools that I'm using. So I've just finished putting down this ground cover between blocks 5 and 6. It's a bit crooked. I haven't quite got the hang of doing this nice and straight and tight, but never mind, it will do the job, which is its main job, is to keep the weeds down so that I don't have to worry about cutting or weeding the areas between the beds. And it also, it's a bit not so obvious now in the winter, but in the summer when this is dry, it will keep an area clear and a bit cleaner when I'm harvesting veg and putting down tools, things like that. So I'm just improving this floating row cover behind here by lifting it off the plants, because it tends to rub them and may sort of affect their growth a little bit. So I've got my rebar. You can see how I cut that in this little clip. So I've got 20 of these 50cm rebar sticks, which will go under the hoops for the covers, which you'll see now. And I have been doing some of them by hand, but mostly now with that angle grinder. And I've got these 1.6 metre bits of MDP tubing, 25mm. So I just put that in the ground. That seems to work quite well. So this has got pak choy in it, purple and green. Hopefully just lifting that off will give them a bit more room. It's about 3:20 Tuesday the 9th. Feels like it's getting dark, but then it has felt like it was getting dark all day. It's a pretty gloomy day. It's drizzling a little bit now. So this is an exciting moment. I'm about to harvest a selection of leaves for salad bags. I'm going to try and harvest 6 bags worth. The bags are going to be sold in 200-gram weights. They'll all have a mix of the winter lettuce, mibuna, corn salad, mizuna, a bit of spinach, komatsuna. I'll be picking them this afternoon, putting them in bags, weighing them out, and then they will go in the cooler, and hopefully they'll be okay for sale when the shop opens on Friday and over the weekend. So let's get cutting. This is the salad box so far. Nice mix of leaves. One problem is that the lamb's lettuce seems to be quite wet and a bit muddy, which means it's going to have reduced shelf life, and also the other leaves are not that dirty, so it's going to make them a bit dirtier, but not a big issue. So going to pick some komatsuna and some mizuna now. These leaves are actually really nice. crunchy, a little bit peppery. Best to get the smaller leaves, get rid of the dead leaves that I'm not going to sell. Mizuna's better picked, harvested with a knife. The winter purslane is a bit trickier to harvest. It's very dense. Not so good when it's wet, which is one reason I'm picking it this afternoon, because I think it's going to rain overnight and tomorrow morning. Morning. It's a very wet, drizzly, grey, chilly day. At least it's not too windy. It is day 28, week 10, the 10th of January. I've just done a harvest, a second harvest, because I didn't have enough salad yesterday. Just trying to get 6 bags. That is 6 bags of 200 grams for the shop opening on Friday. It will take me a little while to work out the right quantities when I'm picking. It's a bit of a hassle having to come back out, especially as it was raining this morning. But that's done. It was interesting looking at the different lettuces. So you've got here Winter Density and Arctic King. The Winter Density is it's doing much better. The leaves are bigger, they're easier to pick, they're more crunchy. The Arctic King is nice, will be nice when it gets a bit bigger. All the other salads were pretty good. That's some of the winter purslane that I harvested, baby spinach. Most of these salads have gone into the mix. So let's see if they sell well, what people think of the different leaves. Some of them are a bit crunchier, some of them are bigger, some of them are spicier. You can see it's pretty wet this morning, quite a lot of standing water, but hopefully that will dry out soon. And those are the 3 beds that I did yesterday. I'm stopping for today and I'll be back next week. I've got a Flowers from the Farm meeting on Monday in Cambridge, and then it will be back out to dig some more beds, start on block number 6 and finish putting the rest of these covers on. I've got 2 more sets of covers on these 4 beds. We've got the hoops. I'm just waiting for the more sandbags so that I can weigh them down. I can't put them on at the moment because I've got nothing to weigh them down with. And that cover on the pat choy is looking good. I've ordered some more tender mesh, which is what I've put on these brassicas. So I'll probably cover another couple of beds with these smaller hoops which seemed to work quite well. So thanks for watching again. Please like these videos if you're enjoying them, subscribe to the channel, then you'll get told when the next one's been published, and keep in touch. Until next time, goodbye.